This is a famous story, at least between me and my friends.
It's like a beaver dam.
My Focus ST, wonderful car. I fucked it up. I went to install my Fortunato 500 coilovers. First time putting coilovers in or changing the suspension out on the Focus. I had to remove the windshield wipers to get to the access of the top struts. I don't know why, but removing these windshield wipers was the most terrible fucking process, to the point where I'm getting so mad. I was using a screwdriver
Here we go.
Start prying.
Mm-hmm. Where'd it go?
I cracked my windshield. Just shattered that. Are we ready? Do the intro.
Yeah, what season?
No, don't. Why do you promote?
What's going on, guys? We are back for another episode of the MartiniWorks podcast. We are looking at season 4, episode 4.
Don't listen to that.
And it's been so exciting to have you guys here. So if you guys haven't had a chance yet, if you're listening in on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below on what you want us to talk about next. And if you're looking to add your car to our build threads, you can do that over at MartiniWorks.com. Takes less than 5 minutes. That's all I got. What are we talking about first? Dakota.
Oh, I got you. Cars that were a royal pain in our ass. Because I think it's beneficial. We've all owned a wide variety of cars. We haven't been like, I only drive Ford Mustangs and that's it. We've kind of hopped around in the car scene. So I was thinking about it and I was like, what if we talk about some of the experiences we had with certain cars? That way other people can maybe avoid it and they don't have to suffer in pain and cry every night.
That's fair. Are we talking about cars that were a pain from the factory or that we made a pain? Because I feel like that
Either. Pain in general.
Yeah.
As Donut Media says, cars are pain. So let's talk a little bit about pain, I guess.
Gels, you want to start this off with one of your favorite builds?
Why did it immediately go to me?
Because you've only owned naturally aspirated
And you've
cars,
only
and you
owned
refuse to buy a turbo or supercharged.
You've also owned all off-meta cars, like humanly possible, Mazda RX-8s and DSMs and cars that nobody else would really want to own.
Yeah, you go specifically for painful cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that really didn't, and it was really nice, was the FRS.
Okay, so don't talk about that.
All right,
Yeah,
hold
that
on.
one doesn't count.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful car.
That's not the question.
NA.
I mean, honestly, to be completely fair, I mean, I might have to refresh my memory a little bit by just start talking about it. But like,
Hurry up.
knock on wood, I never really had any huge like catastrophic issues with any of these cars.
Isn't the BMW having some? Anyways.
I mean, yeah.
No, you have had catastrophic. I've seen you pull up to work with your engine. Ka, 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 ka. Hey,
Okay,
Dakota, come
I
check
suppose.
this out.
I suppose.
Wait, wasn't that the Subaru?
Yes,
That was-
yes, it was, Alex.
Interesting.
Okay, I didn't know
it was
we
a
were
Subaru
including-
that blew up.
Anything you've owned that's given you trouble.
Oh yeah. Okay, my Outback. Yeah.
And just so you guys know that are listening to this, it's not meant to be Subaru slander.
So
But the first car we're talking
I-
about is Subaru
that's-
slander.
it
Dakota
just
lined this
happens
up.
to
He
be.
literally slipped Gels a $2 bill before the podcast
hey, talk
started
about
and
your
said,
Outback.
talk shit about Subaru.
Yo,
And you'll be
low-key,
clear.
Getting slid a $2 bill is kind of a flag.
I know.
I wish. I
yeah.
had
Anyway,
one.
so it's actually really funny because I think we finally actually passively just figured out what happened to this car.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
So yeah, for those that didn't know, I had an Outback for a matter of like a couple of months because I needed a daily, and I was like, oh, we want an Outback. Pretty, you know, you can utilize it.
Yep.
You can store things. It's all-wheel
Can
drive.
I mention one thing about it real
Yeah.
quick?
There's a couple things you can do with it.
The entire life of that car that I knew it had a crock pot in the back seat.
It did. It honestly might have went with the car.
Oh my God, no!
I'm
It was
just
like
kidding.
in the box.
No,
It was
it's,
nice. Okay.
it's sitting in my
Legend of the
closet.
crock
Anyway,
pot.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's all I had to
It
add.
was a nice crock pot. Anyway, so yeah, I bought this Outback. I bought it for a pretty screaming deal. It was before COVID and all that nonsense. And I was excited to have a daily again. I could just drive it all year round. I could fit all my RC stuff in there.
Yeah,
And
wagon.
I fit a whole 50cc 89-inch extra 300 in the back of that.
I don't know what that
That
means.
sounds like a
It's
refrigerator.
a big car. And so anyway, I
Big
was
car?
driving to work one day. And it wasn't the cleanest thing, but it had the guy that bought from had a bunch of the receipts. He showed me we just had the head gaskets replaced. We just had all these gaskets
you don't
replaced.
say.
All this stuff was
Interesting.
all this stuff was I'm good because Subaru that's
Subaru
head
not good.
gaskets
Normally the
stuff.
NA ones are pretty decent,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so I was like, okay, runs good. AC wasn't very strong, but it ran good and everything worked. And it was a little rusty as northern Wisconsin Subarus are. So I bought it. And I was on my way to work one day. And I'm getting off of 41 South, the 441 South, and like the big swooping.
It's a really big turn.
Yeah.
I remember we were in a GT3 RS one time, and we were going super fast. You downshifted that motherfucker and hit it like a speed limit amount.
65 miles an hour.
It's a 30-mile-an-hour zone.
Anyways, it's for the people listening, it's a huge turn. Big,
it's tight,
swooping,
and it
wide.
goes up, and it's it comes back. It does a whole
It's fun. It's like a Gran Turismo turn.
270-degree turn.
Yeah.
And so I'm at work, listening to music. I was like jamming, almost work, driving, get around that thing, going over the bridge, and I hear this ticking sound. Like, what's that mysterious ticking noise? And I was like, what the hell is that? I thought it was the music, or I thought maybe something like came loose or something like that. Turn the music down. I'm like,
Turn the music back up.
Yeah, I was like, that don't sound good. Turn the music back up, and it started getting louder and louder and louder. All of a sudden, the RPM started to drop. And the the whole car started doing weird things. I was like, oh, this ain't good. And to the point where it was like, gah, 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 gah. I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, you know what? We're almost there. I bet we can make it.
Of course.
And there's smoke coming out of this thing. There's bad noises happening. It's going 20 under the speed limit because I have it pinned, and that's as fast as it'll go. I get on the off ramp, thing dies. I'm like, damn it. So I'm sitting there, I'm cranking, the red light. I'm like, come on, you gotta, it's like rush hour right now. Just get me out of traffic. Miraculously starts up. I limp it to work. Back parking lot, snowbank, full send, dies. Beach it up on the snowbank. Call her a day.
That car sat there for months.
It did.
Yeah.
Alex is like, hey, you need to get rid of this.
Yeah.
Because
that was the start of it.
You started getting yelled at.
And then people were like, oh, since Gels keeps his broken car there, can I keep my broken car there? And I'm like,
tracks other.
Yeah, it's like ship boxes attract ship boxes.
It did start. They were all Subarus too.
They were.
It was JT's WRXs back there too.
I'm telling you guys, everyone gets so upset, and it's just fact. I'm not out here just randomly saying this. It's my experiences and what I've seen. Subarus are just the graveyard of the car community.
Yeah, so it was actually just recently we were taking a trip down to drop off our cars for Chattanooga. We were having them shipped down, and we were riding back with Steven Shem. And I was telling this story of the Subaru blew up.
He had a Forester.
He's like, wait, didn't you say it happened right after you took the off ramp or the on ramp, the 441 after that?
And he knows that road,
swooping turn. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you starved it of oil. I'm like, what the hell do you mean? I'm like, oh,
all sloshed to the side.
It's like, and it
ran her dry
immediately after.
So the shocking thing about this is apparently you can starve a Subaru engine without even having to be on a racetrack. Like that's
can
how
have oil.
It can have the oil.
But it don't matter.
It don't. No, obviously not. It's like it'd be different if it was like the whole donut media thing, right? Where it's like they went through engines and things like that. And everybody's like, oh, you're on the track, and you didn't have a baffle oil pan. No, Hobie's going around a public street road at normal speed limits, and for some reason still. You should have just known.
Do you think it was maybe a little bit low on oil or anything like that?
No.
You sure?
It was that car didn't leak a drop of oil.
That's interesting. That's probably because it didn't have any.
Do your oil changes?
It doesn't actually, Gels. It doesn't help you because if it's not leaking oil, it probably didn't have any.
Probably that. Yeah. It wasn't leaking and it was burning it, or it was. No, I mean I checked it regularly and I did an oil change. It was fine.
I know there's someone out there watching us or listening to it right now
stop that idiot.
They're a Subaru owner and they are just getting so heated,
red in the face.
Yeah,
veins are popping out.
Dude, if I didn't have to maintain one, I'd love it.
Here's the thing. I like Subarus. A white blob, I think, is one of the coolest cars. I just don't want to own it.
Here's the thing.
And also, don't ever think that I'm comparing, it's not a Subaru versus one of my cars. I'm talking about Subaru exclusively because, I could put a Subaru in my round of cars and there'd be no change in reliability of the greater group.
Probably go up.
It would probably lift a little bit. So it's not like I'm running around with a car that starts every single time. Sometimes
I know.
Sometimes I turn it on and I'm like, that's a new sound. That's exciting. What's going on?
We just need to get you one car, Alex. Just one car that.
No. And like I said, FRS Subaru engine ran great for the.
I see
50,000 miles that I owned it.
When you had that though, they were going through
big old
recalls
recoil
and
big old recall. And
Yeah,
then
I
they're
know.
like, "Hey,
But
we
anyways.
fixed it," and then they're like, "Nah, we need to actually fix it again."
All right.
That's another.
Alex, what's a car that
long
gave
story.
you some major pain in the ass?
Well, I'm gonna try and switch it up.
Yeah, it could be your doing or the car's doing.
Yeah, I think everybody knows the Datsun story by now because I've talked about it so much. So I'm gonna mix
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
mix
Anything
it
other
up.
than the
You have
Datsun.
cars like I feel like even this year you told me I was like I didn't even fucking know that you ever owned that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I would say like one of the more interesting cars was
Pontiac.
my no. Well, I had a couple Luminas and stuff back when I was in
I
college.
didn't know that.
But I would say one of the
Couple.
weird problematic cars, I'll say two short stories. Number one was the E55 AMG that I
Yeah, I knew
had.
that
It
was
was like
coming.
700 horsepower. It's fucking
Was it-
awesome.
I don't know
And
what
ethanol
problem yet.
injection.
Was it an
Yes.
electrical issue?
Yes.
Okay, they all have electrical.
Yeah,
issues.
so
It's the one
you,
that like Sean had.
yeah,
Yep.
you got to get the 2004 E55. You got to get like the last one because that's when they
That's when they
tried to
fixed it.
sort. They tried to sort through all.
Guys,
If
it's
you-
the last one. We got to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
something out.
Yeah, like-
I got a pro tip for you guys. I got a pro tip real quick. Never buy the first model generation year of anything. Anything ever. I don't care if it's a pizza oven or it's a car. You don't buy the first model year.
Yeah.
Because that's when they learn all their mistakes.
Yeah, that's happened to my FRS. That's why I got recall. The valve
Yeah.
springs.
Yep.
It was a
Yeah,
2013.
And that's like it goes with everything. But we had the 2004. We thought we had it all taken care of. Like it was the last model year for the E55. And every once in a while, the battery just wouldn't get it to turn over. And I sourced through everything, the water meth system. We had it on, different tunes and pulleys and all this sort of stuff. And like finally started, this was like back when the forum was like really kind of getting started on some of the issues because E55s are getting more popular. And we sourced it to the goddamn driver's seat. And it's notorious for these E55s to have
They just
electrical
draw power.
drain
Yeah.
from the seats because there's
Yep.
so many damn.
Sean's had the same
Yeah,
problem.
he would get to work and unplug his seat.
Yeah, I had to do that.
It's ridiculous.
And it's like it has heated massage seats. It's got a 72 controllable seat, but just so you know, it draws enough power to charge your phone if you
Yeah.
wanted it to when the car is off. So that was one of them. And then I would probably say I had another car. I would say specifically with the Datsun when I had put the supercharger, we had lifted the boost a little bit. We had redone the 350 to a 355. It was like just a very small bore.
Yep.
And we were working on like the electrical because we got the car back. We didn't have any really like electrical system in it outside of turn signals and brake lights. And learning how to do electrical on like a 70s Datsun while still trying to utilize like the normal fucking fuses that look like little pills
Yeah.
that you like set in. That was the worst experience of my life. I remember one time trying to turn my turn signal on and the windshield wipers going on. I was like, that's how bad I fucked it up when I first, because I never done electrical before in
That's
my
fair.
life.
I hate
specifically
electrical.
remember seeing the photo of the entire wiring schematic pasted
Yep.
on your garage wall.
Yeah, I
And
never
like, yeah, this is what I got myself into. I'm like, that looks like a living hell.
Yeah, so I got so agitated because I get agitated easily, actually.
Oh.
But I got so mad one time because I couldn't load the whole picture of the electrical wiring diagram of the Datsun. So I had my friend Brian go to the FedEx print shop and
Literally,
print.
like, plotted it out,
It's
yeah.
it was a 3-foot by 18-foot
My God.
piece of like laminate paper, and
remember
we
seeing a picture
stapled
of this
it to
thing.
the garage wall so that I never had to go and look at my phone again. I would just point.
Honestly, not a bad idea. I
It was
kind
the
of
best
like
way to
Sounds
go.
terrible.
I
I would
still-
never fucking do that.
Yeah.
I'd
It's
burn
like
the
a
car
true to
down.
scale diagram.
Working on cars is only fun when it's a choice. It fucking
You're
blows
100% right.
when you have to work on a car.
Even then, it doesn't go white.
yeah, like I'll be.
It doesn't go white.
It doesn't go white sometimes.
doesn't
Looking
go.
on your car sometimes doesn't go white.
I was torn between well or right, and it just came out like that.
I wasn't gonna let that slip.
I was hoping.
Clearly.
I heard the like.
Yeah, it's. I can literally.
wanna put
I
that
can
on a
see
shirt.
it. I can see it in Dakota's body language. Like you just.
I got
It's
excited.
like this little like subwoofer underneath his ass where he's just like. Oh, I got it. It came from my butt.
Anyway,
Sorry.
what about you?
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah,
A lot of them I've fucked up myself. So,
haven't we all?
okay, first I'll start with one that I fucked up myself. Which one do I choose?
Volkswagen.
Roll the dice.
No, that one I didn't fuck up myself. That'll come though.
That one you kind of resurrected a little bit.
This is a famous story, at least between me and my friends.
Always like a Beaver Dam.
My Focus ST, wonderful car. I fucked it up. I went to install my Fortunato 500 coilovers. First time putting coilovers in or changing the suspension out on the Focus, and I had to remove the windshield wipers to get to the access of the top struts.
Yeah.
So that way I could unbolt them and stuff. Dude, I don't know why, but removing these windshield wipers was the most terrible fucking process, to the point where I'm getting so mad. I was using a screwdriver
Here we
to
go.
start prying.
Mm-hmm. Where'd it go?
I cracked my windshield. Just shattered that bitch. Immediately after looking, I'm like, wait, I don't need to take the fucking windshield wipers off. They didn't need to come off at all. It had nothing to do with anything I was doing. So that when I fucked up, had to get the windshield replaced. And then with that made a bunch of fucking nightmares because the company that did it fucked it up, and they had to put in 2 different windshields. And then with that, I actually went through 2 windshields too on that car. Besides that, I cracked it a different time. Anyways, and
big windshield guy.
Yeah, apparently.
yeah, I've
And
replaced a lot of windshields.
They're not cheap.
The Wagoon you had to as well.
I had to also. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I got the outfit, and then that just led to a bunch of problems. Car number 2. This one wasn't my fault. I got a Volkswagen GTI.
There it was.
My God, did I just get thrown into the shitstorm of Volkswagen problems?
I will never forget that summer.
Dude, it was insane.
Dakota changed as a man.
See, that's
did.
what I am convinced Volkswagen enthusiasts, it's not a choice.
So he bought one. The second one showed up. Then the garage
That's
full
what
of fenders.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
hoods
saying.
And
That's what I'm
other
saying.
parts showed up.
It's a
He had to
virus.
buy-
My entire house was filled with.
He bought an entire subframe. He bought like these drop.
That is what I'm
plates.
telling you.
There was
You want to know what a gateway car is, not a gateway drug?
Yeah.
Volkswagen.
Mark
For
IV
some-
GTI.
Yeah, the moment you get into it, you never leave.
Here's the
you
weirdest
never
part.
It's like the back rooms of cars.
Here's the weirdest part. I love that car. I fucking
like,
love
I
that car.
fucking do it all.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just I cannot even exaggerate this. Every time I turn the key, there was a brand new problem that didn't relate to a different problem at all. Every single time. It was
Literally, I
insane.
just love when Dakota's talking about the Subarus being notoriously problematic.
Okay,
but like
but here-
4th gen GTIs also are notoriously problematic because there were so many made and nobody took care of them like
That
ever.
car-
That's it. No one took care of them. I think if you, because
Yeah.
my Mark IV Jetta, for example,
Like a Subaru.
great thing is fucking amazing. I guess
Like
it
a
does
Subaru.
have kind of issue. There's some lights on and stuff,
Yeah.
but they're not like functional. It doesn't.
Last time I was in the
I
passenger
feel like
seat of
I'm-
your car,
I'm
there was
sipping the fucking
Yeah,
Kool-Aid
you
right now.
are. That's what I'm saying. It's a great car, man. If people just took care of it,
I'm
if people
literally
would just
doing
if people
what
would just
Subaru
you know, yeah,
owners do.
if people just treated it nice,
Okay.
did the maintenance when they were supposed to, absolutely didn't breathe the wrong way inside the cabin, and completely ignored the Christmas lights on the dash, Volkswagens wouldn't have such a bad rap.
Okay, but here's the one main difference. All of the things that were broken, I would say sub $300 to fix, and the engine didn't blow up. Okay,
When you had
when you're yeah, okay, the GTI engine, yeah, I sold it. Some guy, he had it for a bit, took it to Automotion shit, then he sold it to a buddy, and then apparently it blew up.
So
and I don't know where the car is anymore.
So that's actually a good maybe
should buy it
segue or
back.
question because I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever found yourself in the uncomfortable situation where you've sold a car and the car shortly thereafter blows up, but you had
sell
there
cars.
you had never like there was never anything wrong with the car when you had it?
Let me think.
No, I hold on to my cars forever. So I've sold one in my life, and that was my Eclipse. And
Some of them
I've not seen
I
it.
never like. I don't know what happened to. I never seen them again. The GTI is the closest one,
Yeah.
but that went through a couple owners, and then it
yeah, like
blew
that
up,
one was
but-
fine because, like you said, it went through a couple other people.
Yeah, and
before-
dude, the car, I drove it to work like every day that summer. It was perfectly fine. Yeah, it had like issues, but it wasn't on the cusp of blowing up.
Have you?
So
I've had two.
Oh my God!
Well, I had
Well, you
like, I've
sold
had like
two
go through
cars
as
that
many
blew up. Do
cars.
not buy a car from Alex. Do not buy a car from Alex.
I've had like 35 cars though, so it's still low
The
percentage.
chances go up.
Yeah, so here's what happened. I had a B7A4 big turbo. This one we didn't get in a fight over, but the blow-off valve would like get sticky and it would get stuck open. And when I was selling it, I told the guy, hey, by the way, you're going to want to take off the blow-off valve, clean it, because I think it was exposed dumping to like the ground to get the noise and whatever. And I remember that I don't think that ever happened, and I think one day it just got caught open, and I think some dirt and shit got into it, and then the contaminants got into the engine over time, and then it just blew up. That was one.
You think a blow-off valve blew up the car?
It was either that or really shitty modification by the new owner.
Blow-off valve or like a wastegate?
Well, it was...
One of those?
Yeah, I mean, it was No, it was probably a wastegate. I would say wastegate, yeah. No. Final answer, blow-off valve, because it was a forged blow-off valve.
What car was it?
B74. Second car, this one was a little bit more serious. Sold it a day before the Eau Claire meet in like 2017, 2016, and told the guy about the seat and about the battery drain.
Yep.
So
that was important so that they knew that the battery was draining. And apparently he didn't think that the battery drained as fast as the battery drained, and he demanded a refund like a couple days afterwards, and I pretty much told him I couldn't do that. I think I ended up sending him like an extra $500 to go deal with the problem. And then like a couple months later he crashed it. And it's still sitting in
You have a history of that too.
Yeah, it's a city. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of cars that I used to own that are now Porsche 996 Turbo totaled, the E55
matches the wrap.
Totaled.
Okay, just I need to know
3000 GT totaled,
because I've heard. Hey, one second. I've heard some really important stories about this. I just want to find out the truth here on the MartiniWorks podcast.
It's like I'm on TMZ.
I heard that with the Porsche, the owner crashed it because it had piss-filled headlights and he couldn't see the road.
Okay, listen, Dakota.
He just wanted the car to match
the
wrap.
I'm going to bring up your Curb TE37s. If you keep bringing up my fucking piss-filled headlights, they looked cool. They still do. I'm gonna make my headlights.
Did
for the 430
I ever say they didn't look cool?
Okay, it's implied through the title,
Why?
Dakota. What do you mean? Why? Say it back to
headlights.
me. Say it to me one word at a time.
Piss.
Okay, good or bad?
Filled.
No.
Piss
go back
is fine.
Okay, then what?
Everybody does it. Filled. Okay, full. Glass half full. Headlights.
Yeah, I would.
That was
say,
all
I would
positive
say, no.
messages.
No. You lifting your eyebrows further up on your forehead does not make it a positive message. Okay.
Well, I don't think it's as negative. People love it. People love piss-filled headlights.
No, not when you're describing it like that. Phrasing.
He really gets angry.
I don't like
He
that
hates
piss-filled headlights. That's what I heard, and he didn't deny it. So I think it is true, confirmed here on the MartiniWorks podcast. The Porsche after Alex's ownership was crashed due to the poor lighting caused by piss-filled headlights. Do not pee in your headlights, or you could get sued.
Sometimes I wonder why you're here. We're gonna take a break now.
Same.
And if Dakota's not in the next part, you'll know why. So, Gels, when we come back, what are we going to be talking about?
I don't know. I wasn't given the docket.
You were,
I got it because Dakota is no longer allowed to speak. We're going to be talking about the progress of MartiniWorks a little bit, and then we're going to be following up with some build conversations. So we'll see you soon.
Ooh.
All right. Well, unfortunately, guys, we had to lose one of our, personalities here for the rest of the podcast. Unfortunately, he said some profanities on air that we just we don't condone. This is not a thing we enjoy lightly or do without understanding the consequences. So, So, Gels, let's talk about what are we doing here as we look forward into the car shows. Hey, you're supposed to be laying down.
I was trying to play sound effects, but I don't think they were coming through.
No, they weren't. I just saw your big ass head just fucking wobbly bobbly back there.
I was back there.
You're back.
DJing
You got
shit.
uncanceled.
I was the only one that could do it. You can't get rid of me, bitch.
All right, so we're here and we're actually ended up talking about car shows and what we would call, catfishing? Catfish policy.
Catfishing, gatekeeping car shows. I don't know. I've heard to it referred.
What
as
other
a bunch of different,
like hot terms can we use?
I don't get
gaslighting.
Wait, no, you can't just use gaslighting for everything. I had some, which by the way,
Are you
if
gaslighting me right now?
if there's that one person,
gaslighting
there's a
me.
guy
He's
on TikTok that's
gate-lighting
like,
me.
who's letting this gaslighter ask questions?
Oh,
That's the most improper form of that word being used in a sentence. You fucking dweeb, okay? Use gaslighting correctly if you're going to use it. I'm not gaslighting. We're talking about catfish policy.
diesel lighting.
Okay, so for those that don't know, catfish policy at a car show is when essentially you go and you submit your information on your car, what you have, what it looks like, you send in pictures, right? Because the host of the show wants to either approve or deny that the car is of a certain quality
Right.
to get in. Then, when you
Makes sense.
arrive, right, the host looks at your car, and all of a sudden they notice you got a little rust on the fender that you photoshopped, or the diffuser's falling off on the back, or it looks like big doo-doo, and you just turn the saturation up to 30 so that your orange paint looks red, kind of like the Ferrari back in the day.
Spaghetti.
That gets denied at the gate because you catfished their ass. You lied about what it looked like, and now you're out.
They gate kept the catfish.
The thing is, I think we need more strict car shows.
Well, hold on here.
Okay.
Slam Enough Gatlinburg last year, they were in the hot seat for this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
even made a post about it.
Yeah.
So much so that they were turning cars away. But my boy Stancy Pants RX-8 was somehow in the show.
And there was someone with rep wheels in the show.
ESR forged carbon fiber barrel wraps in the show.
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line?
That's the thing is the line, but I think we need to normalize and get the community behind making car shows good car shows. You can't let
Agreed.
everyone when a car show and a car meet are two very different things.
Yes.
If you want to go to a car meet and just hang out with people, that's the place for it. A car show should be for people that are competing to win awards and showcasing the best of the best builds. Fuck, that might even mean I get kicked out of some car shows because I have some very basic mods in my car at the moment, but I wouldn't be butthurt if I went to that car show. And I think that's the biggest problem. I think is you don't get accepted. You walk in and you're like, well, my car's better than that. My car's better than that.
Yeah.
And it's subjective, but you get very lackluster shows when you just let fucking anyone that put wheels on their car in.
I think what the issue was, right, is that like Gatlinburg, for instance, like you go
I
get a
still
big,
thought that was an awesome
you go
show.
get an Airbnb with like 10 people.
Okay.
You travel 15 hours to this Airbnb. You pay for
Heard
the
that.
gas, pay for the food, you pay for the lodge. Your car's approved, and you get to the door, and they say you're not approved.
But was it your fault?
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to is like, yeah, did you actually specifically stand 40 feet away from your car for the photos and edit out the rust and saturate
Hide
the
a
paint
panel or
and
whatever. Yeah.
take only this angle and like, so it looked, like, did you purposely do that? Because if so, like, yeah, sorry, bro, shit out of luck. But like in person,
I would agree.
Like,
I
video
loved,
walkarounds are gonna have to be a thing.
well, I love the Gatlinburg show. I thought
Me
it was
too.
awesome,
Yeah,
and
I wasn't
hats,
mad at the
hats
caliber
off
of
to
cars.
those guys and gals. And I've been to a lot of Slammed Enough shows, and they usually do a really good job.
Mhm.
And I think they did a great job considering last year. I think it's tough though because Gatlinburg is getting so big.
yeah,
And it's growing so fast, and you can quote me on this, but I am scared that Gatlinburg will turn into an H2O.
Yeah.
I do, an H2OI, because it's like if you just look at the pre-meet that Vaded Mob hosts the night before,
The pre-meet
and
was wild.
and the pre-meet's
It
wild.
started to
the
get a little
pre-meet is solid. And
Yeah, there's a
you
lot
look
of
at,
great,
You look at it,
fantastic cars
and
there.
cars that don't even go to to the show. They just go to hang out with their homies and then they go back home. Like you look at the size of that pre-meet year to year to year, and it is insane how fast the Gatlinburg weekend is growing. Now, I love the weekend for a lot of different reasons. I love the show because I get to see everyone.
Yeah,
right?
Weekend's
Like,
pretty good artist.
Yeah.
but the experience being in the mountains and doing all of that's the cool shit. Like being able to hang out with the homies, that part's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
But I think it's tough because you had, I would argue, like 3 times the amount of people, 2
Right.
times the amount of people that last year than the year prior. And so there are a lot of new faces and eyeballs to the Gatlinburg,
Yeah,
show
I
and
think-
Slammed Enough show, and they don't know that this is a policy. They state it when you go and apply. They state that there's a catfish policy. They tell you right when you sign up that hey, your car could still be denied upon entry if the staff feels like it's not up to snuff.
Right.
How do they do dog shows? Because, like, you see the dog show on Animal Planet, you never see some ratty mutt walking through. You see these fucking high-end, they got
High-end
little
dogs.
prance to them, and they are all
Can you do that one more
dogs.
time? One more time. Thank you.
But at car shows, you walk around, you can see everything. You host car shows. You should have some input on this. What's your thoughts on who you can let in and who you can't let in, or how to run a car show?
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I think as for us hosting a car show, I think you just kind of have to call it as it is. Like, Wisconsin has a really strong quality of cars, but it's not as strong of a quality of cars as the further south you go. Like, right. the more south you go, the nicer the cars are, generally speaking. The water level raises. So for us up here in Wisconsin, we're mostly just looking for cars that have no visual impairment, like from a paint perspective or from, lowering it on the fenders sort of perspective. But like, we know that if we were to take a look under the cars or in the fender wells, we'd probably find something. Mm-hmm. So we don't try to look past the surface of the car. I know sometimes even at Slam Enough shows, they do get really specific. Like, what does your engine bay look like? Mm-hmm. What does your mounting points look like? What does your wide body look like? Like the gaskets and the harness and the hardware, all that stuff they do look at. So I think what it comes down to in terms of like what I look at and what Slammed Enough is looking at is the right stuff. I think where it gets tough is you have this culture of people who thrive on the static life, driving 12 to 14 hours, driving static from fucking bombfuck nowhere to Tennessee, and they break their front lip or they break their rear diffuser on the way there because they want to show how tough they are. And I think it's fucking dope that you do it. Do you hear me say it? I think it's fucking cool. But you trash your car.
You take that risk. Yeah.
You go to the show and they deny you. And you're like, I fucking drove 14 hours here.
Yeah, and it looks like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a little bit of that. I do think, just to give credit to the community that was really upset about this, though, because I think it's important to cover both sides, is some of the people in the car community were upset that the catfishing felt selective.
Yeah.
If you knew the staff, you were fine. If you didn't know the staff, you weren't fine.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue.
And that's something that I do believe in. And like I said, I hang out with the Slam Enough guys. We're going to be there at Gatlinburg this year, which I'm super stoked about. I love that team to death. So it's not any disrespect to them, but the people that are handing out yays and nays, you got to make sure that they're your toughest hitters. Like, they need to be able to stand the fire and say, no, you can't go in, and they can't have a preferential treatment. Otherwise, that stuff is going to get really fucky. But I don't think, like, the rep wheel conversation, like, I know they were specifically calling out, a 3-piece ESR wheel with a carbon fiber barrel, and it's like, well, is that really where you're going to draw the line on being catfish? Because that's not a catfish. That's just you not liking a brand.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
Is that the same?
I mean, there was a lot of cars there on,
and that was
reps,
it seemed like that was like the go-to like fallback of like, oh, sorry, my fender's a little creased, but this dude's on fucking rep wheels. It's like, okay, well, his car's in one piece, and it's like the fitment's good, and there's nothing like visually wrong with it. That's why they're in there.
I would say if you're going to do it right, you got to do it by. You really have to know what you're doing. We were at Virginia International Raceway for Japan Auto Legends. Mm-hmm. Those guys crushed it because they made it very, very clear on what they weren't and weren't accepting.
Yes.
They said, we are focusing on a Japanese JDM tuner modified car show, and we are looking at specifically authentic wheels, authentic parts, authentic engine components, and if you do not have that, we love you to death, but there might be a chance that you won't get accepted. And they were super fucking picky on the wheels. Like, everything was like work, SSR, Volk, all Graham lights, all that stuff from overseas, which is fine, but they made it super, super clear that that's what they were looking at. And so if they're going to make...
quality of cars that showed up, but it was smaller. Although it was the first show, but like the quality of cars that were there were phenomenal.
But what I'm saying is
they made it very clear. And
the audience can't determine what the specifications for entry are.
Yeah.
Slammed Enough makes the specifications of what the show is going to be judged around.
Yeah, it's their show.
And I think they do a really good job. It's where that sea of gray comes in at the gate that sometimes it gets a little messy. And it's like, if you're going to change anything, in all honesty, I would say keep the strictness, but record the purpose. Like, record the why. Like, if you say no to a car coming in because it's got bank fenders, and you say that, and sorry, man, this isn't what we signed up for. That front lip is banged up. That rear diffuser's falling off. We can't accept this. There's a lot right here. We're going to put anybody that's been, turned away last minute, we're going to put you up here, over here in the corner or whatever. And you write it down. Because sure as shit, 90% of those people are going to go on social
TikTok,
media,
Instagram,
and they're going to blow up.
Yep.
They did it on TikTok, and Slammed Enough needs to have something to like clap back and say, "This is why. This is why you got denied. I looked you in the fucking eyes and I told you." This is why.
Yep.
It's weird that it gets like, oh, well, it's because they didn't like me. It's like, no, nobody's fucking standing up there being like, I hate this kid.
I think it's all just so...
This kid sucks.
I think it's just all so new, right? Like, the explosion of like TikTok and Instagram Reels and things like that. And people being able to get in front of such a huge audience very, very quick on like something so topical.
Yeah, it's what...
Like, but I would say like last year, like I saw more Slammed Enough Gatlinburg shit come across my feed than ever before.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And so it was like, holy shit, like this is going crazy. And then like all of that happened. And then every piece of it was blowing up.
I've gotten my ass kicked by these kind of posts too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the season opener, we'll get a car in that we've messed up. We made a mistake. We didn't see something that other people saw, and it's too late. And we have to eat that. Like we made the mistake and we move on. I think, no show's ever going to be perfect, but you can't hold such high criticism for a host and then quickly turn it the opposite way on yourself to expect like leniency. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I just think that's how it goes.
And that circles back to the beginning when I was talking about it, is like, I think as a car community, we have to be more accepting of sometimes you're not going to make it into every show, and that's perfectly fine.
And here's the great fucking news. You ready for this? You don't have to show your car at Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. You do not have to put your car in the cool indoor expo, okay? I promise you that is not going to be the highlight of your weekend. It's going to be cool. But you're going to see the car, you're going to take a picture, you're going to run into Dakota, you're going to rub his belly, you're going to run into Jels, you're going to take a picture, you're going to run into me, you're going to ask me where the rest of my hair went, and you're going to go on with your day. And that is what you're going to do at Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. And then when you're done, you are going to look more forward to having dinner with your friends and cruising the back roads than fucking anything else. So don't get so worked up about the show itself. Get worked up about the community that gets built around it. And just don't be a fucking dweeb in the city.
I went to Gatlinburg. I didn't even bring my fucking car. my stuff didn't show up on time. I didn't have it done. And it was one of my favorite car shows I've ever been into in my entire life.
That is the biggest thing too. Like, don't act like a freaking hooligan in the city. Like, yes, I know we're there to have a good time. We're there to go rip around on the roads and stuff like that. That's fine. But it's like, I would hate to see it turn into the next 8.
It is. It's so close to it. It's so close.
And I know you got people standing around. They're egging you on sometimes too. And it's just like, dude,
trust me, I want to do it all the time.
Just brace yourself. Just move past. Just don't do it, because it leads to so much more. And I know we sound like boomers, but like it's seriously like in my experience, at least when we've been to both Riverside, Chattanooga, and Gatlinburg, like cops weren't an issue. There was no problem. Everyone was very respectful. And once that starts happening, where the police are getting involved and the city's complaining, it ruins it. It's going to ruin everything, because they're going to ticket you for every possible thing they can, because they want this to stop. Yeah. So it's like, just if you can contain.
And hear me say, I'm also going to say this too. I literally got my own fucking ticket, I think 2 years ago.
Oh, you're the problem.
Yeah, but it wasn't because I was.
What the hell, man?
No, it's because Seaverville has fucking 4-lane highways, and there's nobody in the morning at 6 o'clock, and it's still a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. I thought that fucker was at least 45. I'm cruise control on in the old 430 at 6 a.m. going to grab
cruise
coffee.
Control works?
Yes.
Wow.
Before I actually it doesn't have cruise control. I was cruising at 45 perfectly. Literally just hanging out, just vibing, doing my thing, come over the crest, see a cop, don't even think anything of it. And I'm just putzing 45. Like, I know that's what I need to get pulled over. Cop goes, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, good. What happened? And he goes, I pulled you over. And I'm like, I hate to sound like that person, but I don't know if the car was loud or if something's going on. And he goes,
boom, cuffed.
He's like,
yep.
He's like, you're speeding. And I'm like, I'm speeding, huh? And he's like, yeah, the speed limit's 25. You were clocked at 46. I'm like, officer, I swear to God, I thought the speed limit was 45. Ended up going for I have to show you a picture because it's so funny.
The roads are so nice. And like you said, they are so wide.
They're huge. Like, I didn't think anything of it. Well, I ended up getting a warning. So it wasn't a big deal. The dude was super nice. And he's like, hey, just make sure you keep it slow. And
almost double the speed limit.
Tell your friends, it is 25, 35 around here. He goes, we pull over a lot of people that think that, so I don't think you're lying. I'm like, dude, like I would
Maybe
be
should
going.
put like an extra sign or something.
I'd be
up
going-
there.
Give him a ride in the Ferrari.
No, if I knew it was faster, I'd probably be going 54. That's kind of the number. But I think Gatlinburg is a blast. Slammed Enough is doing their best. I think Slammed Enough has some huge shoes to fill, though.
I think they have a lot of
this year.
responsibility on their hands.
Yeah, they do. And
Well, so does the car community.
Well, yeah, it's not. Yeah, don't put it all on them. It's you guys. You guys behave yourself.
but that's going to happen.
Be good.
There's a
because
time
when
and a place
because when
to
something
be
bad
silly.
happens, who are they going to blame?
Yeah.
They're going to blame Slammed Enough because that's why everybody's
You
there.
brought the people here. This is your fault, which is really
there
unfortunate.
is a time and place to be silly. Be smart about it. Don't be stupid. And then everything's all gravy. Okay?
Gravy.
I'm just trying.
You got that photo?
I'm trying to find out.
You hype me up. It's an
like-
iPhone. Search. What's the name of the city? Gatlinburg. Where'd you get pulled over? Search that, and then the photo will pop
Wait,
up.
can you do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, really?
How old are you?
You could probably search police officer, and that photo will come up.
I'm going through my Lightroom because I thought that'd be faster.
No, just
Oh my
search on your
God.
iPhone.
This doesn't
Alex.
look fast at all.
Alex,
Oh,
search on iPhone.
I'm gonna
Alex,
search on my.
Search on iPhone. Alex, search on iPhone.
Wait, how do I search by my
Oh my
maps?
God, just forget the photo. Just tell us about it.
Anyway,
No,
They
oh,
can't see anyways.
places. Okay, hold on. You guys
There's
keep
a
talking.
search function. You just
he looks like he's
type
on
it in.
fucking
Hey,
Snapchat maps right
I
now.
thought this guy good at social media.
Yeah.
He don't even know how to find a picture. You know what I'm saying?
That's so
Why?
cool.
Hey, hold up. Why the fuck Gel's wearing a shirt that say Boost Brigade and he never even have a fucking boosted car, bro? What
I don't
the
know what you're talking
fuck?
about.
Exposed. I'm just trying
Anyway.
to cover for Alex here.
Anyway.
No, come on, bro. Explain yourself.
I have no explanation. I thought the shirt looked dope. And I bought it from the Gretty booth. So I was like,
Hey, yeah, you know what else looks dope? Boosted cars.
the boosted cars look dope.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it. The only thing I have is my car
Can you
trying
just-
to go up the hill.
That was terrifying. The video does absolutely
Yeah,
no justice
no
of
justice.
how steep these fucking driveways are.
Every
They
one
are-
of them.
I've never seen a driveway like this. It is like a fucking Disney World ride. This shit is like you're going off Splash Mountain, bro.
R.I.P. by the way.
Ah! We literally had a chat to say coming up or coming down.
Yeah, we did.
So that way people
because
wouldn't
you couldn't
die.
see over the crest.
Yeah.
Like you would come up the hill and you're pointing right.
Driveways
at
like that should be illegal. 100%. If it rained, I don't know what we would have done. Everyone would have been fucked.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It did rain a
I
lot.
think it was
No,
fun.
what do you mean no?
The
No.
best
It's
part
not
of it.
fun. It was stupid.
No, the best part about going up the mountain, especially with our kind of cars, is that you are royally fucked if you get stuck. I remember getting halfway up that hill, realizing I probably shouldn't have taken my car
It's
up
too
the
late
hill.
then.
And you can't turn around. You have
Point
to
of no
go all the
return.
way up and then go all the way down. So now I'm stuck there, and it's overheating, and I can't figure out which goddamn road I'm supposed to go up. Do I go up Mount Everest or do I go up the fucking
'cause
Appalachian
the
Mountains?
GPS doesn't
Remember,
know
Because the
he
that.
said
GPS
this
doesn't
was
work.
fun.
It was fun. You pull off.
I swear, if
you
I
let
can't,
the car cool down, and then as you're letting the car cool down, there's a constant amount of pressure because there's these big ass fucking like lumber trucks going up and down the mountain because they're doing construction work on these cabins that are up
Yeah.
on the mountain. So you're sitting there, and then all of a sudden just, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die, I'm gonna die. So then you just turn it on, you rev all the way up, and then you just pray your transmission doesn't blow up.
all I'm saying
Be a man.
is if for the fourth time that we go to Tennessee, I cannot park my car at the goddamn cabin. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
For real, I'm about to just sit at the bottom of the mountain. I don't even care anymore. The views are like waking up, having coffee on top of a mountain. Probably one of the best things
it's better
on
than
this
that?
planet that you do. But
Having
yeah,
your fucking car there.
I was shout out to Jacob and letting us store our cars because I literally don't know what the fuck we would have done because I couldn't get my car up to the Airbnb. I could not.
And it's honestly hard to tell too because you look at the pictures and it's like
Yeah,
that looks great.
pictures and
The
video, no
Like
justice.
you look at the satellite view, it's like good. You look at the road, like good, and then you get there and it's like
yeah,
It's a crapshoot. You
it's
just have to
this,
guess.
and there's like the asphalt is like peeling away because they use like cheap freaking blacktop there for whatever
Gabagoo.
reason. And yeah, it's horrible.
Well, yeah, because their driveways are 3 miles long because they have to go up an entire mountain.
That was funny when we were at Chattanooga. We asked Jacob, we were like, how is this driveway compared? He's
Yeah,
like,
we
he's
thought
like
it
honestly,
sucked.
this one's pretty good.
Yeah,
and
he's
we're
like-
like,
yeah.
He's like, well, it's paved, and we all laughed. And he's like,
no, really.
it's paved. This is nice actually, and we're like, oh,
yeah. I mean
well, it was paved in
Yeah.
quotes.
Yeah, I just don't know if Chattanooga is necessarily like the city of
What do you mean?
trips and relaxation.
What do you mean?
Why?
Well, it's a small town. It's got a lot going for it.
Depending on where you were.
there's
I
a
drove
lot of-
like 5 minutes also, and it was big town.
Some would say Appleton's small town.
Well, Appleton is small town.
Well, my driveway is not like that.
Appleton big town compared to my town.
I'm comparing Gatlinburg to Chattanooga.
What are you saying about where Gels was raised?
Yeah.
You guys both were raised in some tiny ass tinker towns, okay? When you got
Right.
an animal in your city name, you got something to worry about. Fucking Beaver Dam looking ass, Deer Creek, fucking Bobcat.
What? Okay, the Bobcat, that is a completely different.
With that being
Gels was
said,
raised in Bobcat, Wisconsin.
I would love to go to Bobcat, Wisconsin.
Bobcat's actually a county, population just Gels. We're gonna take a break, and then when we're coming back, we're gonna be talking about MartiniWorks.
Yeah,
and some
there
out
it
of
is.
context questions.
Yeah, I got
Let's
nothing for that, but we'll
go.
see. It's gonna get crazy.
We're back with the final part. Let's talk about it. Gels, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Gels, how you never know what we're
Yeah,
talking about?
we
were
literally
filming
bring it up
before this.
before this.
We're talking about MartiniWorks.
There it is.
Talking about MartiniWorks. It's been going really well,
So,
but it's
yeah,
also scary.
I think a lot of people have maybe at this point heard of it. Maybe they've never heard of it. They don't know what it even is or what's going on. So why don't you explain? We got there's a ton of different channels for MartiniWorks.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
There's a
happening.
website.
Yeah, you're gonna want to grab a notebook
There's
here.
a build
Yeah.
thread.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is MartiniWorks is the home for the motorsport enthusiast. So whether you drag your car, drift it, race it, or show it, we want to see your build in our build threads where you can share your story, what you have done to the car, what you plan on doing to the car, any sort of blog articles you may have written or videos you may have done. You can post all that into your build thread, and then people can go out there and they can search and they can learn how you built your drift car, how you built your drag car, and all that sort of good stuff. The whole point is to help people not just figure out what parts to buy, but how does it work and how did it go? So we got people we got Jimmy Oaks's E36 in there
Mm-hmm.
that he put in there.
Turbo.
Big turbo guy. We have Steven Shem's Lexus. That's really cool.
There's a lot of really insane cars that people
Yeah,
have
we got
added.
Rival GTRs,
Over
R32.
400 people that
Yeah, there's over 400 build threads already, and we've only been live for 2 weeks, and so it's been the support's been awesome. So, for you guys are wondering what does that even mean? The goal here is to help kind of people build and modify their car, not just buy parts.
You
And-
basically get a website for your car, essentially.
Right.
It's so cool. It's so satisfying. I've been helping a little bit just approve some of the ads that have gone through for the build threads. And it is so satisfying once you go through, make sure everything's good, no typos, pictures are good, stuff like that. Hitting approve and then going to the link to make sure it
seeing
looks
it, yeah.
and seeing their entire build thread. It looks cool, especially if you upload a lot of good images. It looks sick.
Yeah,
It
we
looks
wanna-
really
we
cool.
wanna-
You can update it throughout time. Really, you can
Yeah.
continue to keep it.
Yep.
yeah, we just want to make
up to
build threads
date.
great again.
Yes.
You know,
like
because
the old
build
forums, but better.
build threads were always awesome, and old forums were always awesome until Photo Bucket got kicked, and then
Oh,
there's no
God.
images anymore on the forums.
Yeah,
Is that
that
what
was-
happened?
Yeah,
pain in
yeah,
the
that's
butt.
the whole
wonder-
story.
I always wonder because, I'll go through things for RC stuff or
No images, no images, no image.
RX-8 things because they're from the early 2000s, and it's why the hell can't I see a photo? And I just figured it was because I wasn't a part of the forum.
Yeah, that's
No.
why.
That's crazy though. The
Yep.
whole kit
whole
and
thing
caboodle
got the whole thing got
canned, huh?
shut down. Yeah. So our goal is to kind of create a hub for that information again, and then you can create blogs, you can rate other people's builds. It's kind of like a community place
And-
that we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's obviously super new.
It's really fucking new,
So we're thinking of how people, because it's being made for you guys. So
and we're building it right now. as
maybe
we're
something in the
talking.
future too. With this, everyone wants a sponsorship. This is something that's you could
Mhm.
send to a sponsor to even
Yeah, it's
showcase your
it's
build, and it has all of your info right there. All of your photos, your media, your story
Mhm.
is right there. So it's just something easy that's hey, check out what I have going on.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
great portfolio or profile to build for your build.
And not only that, but it's something for us to showcase too. We've done that a few times. We collaborate on Instagram with people that have uploaded their build threads, and it's really neat. I mean, it's a win-win for literally everyone.
Yeah, and so on the content side, on the videos that we're doing, because we love to shoot videos, we have 3 channels. We have MartiniWorks. That's where we're gonna be posting competitions and series and things like how to modify, which I think we're just launching. We just launched. If this video's
Yep,
up,
you can go check it out. First episode is live currently, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
And then we have the MartiniWorks podcast. That's what you're watching or listening in
They
on
probably
right now.
know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have a third one.
What?
It's called MartiniWorks Unboxed.
0 videos at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to get there eventually.
Working on it.
We're going to get there eventually. And when we do, you better be careful because it's going to be sick. That's going to be where we put like product reviews and stuff like that. Unboxings. We're going to do some ASMR type shit.
Yeah,
you know?
get hands-on with the product and actually open it up so you guys know what to expect before you.
But in a non-fucking boring way.
So
Yeah.
where do the martinis come in?
So that comes in
21 plus.
upstairs in my refrigerator. I actually
You have
tried.
martinis in your refrigerator?
So you know when you go to Home Goods and they have
Never
those
been.
like
I've
you
never
pour
been
the
to Home Goods.
vodka into the thing and then
No.
you let it marinate for a few hours.
What?
You marinate vodka? What are you talking about?
You guys don't know what I'm talking about
I've
right now?
never been to Home Goods.
Listen to me. You've never been to Home Goods.
No.
No.
You've never been to Home Goods.
Do I look like a guy that goes to fucking Home Goods?
You have
What
a
is
wife.
Home Goods? Is Home Goods a grocery store?
It's like it is like the products that you would see on Pinterest at the quality you would come to expect at a value price is what that is.
That sounds like IKEA grocery store.
It is, but it's a little worse. But it's more colorful in every way.
Where is it? Do they have one here?
They have multiple here.
Multiple?
This is like a shittier Target. What do you mean?
Well, then why the fuck wouldn't I just go to Target?
Because Target doesn't have the selection that Home Goods does.
I have never honestly gone to Target and been like, oh, it didn't have what I just needed to
Man,
get.
there's not enough here at Target.
You need.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm taking you guys to Home Goods.
We're getting way off track here, and I'm sorry.
No,
this was supposed to be like an
here's
automotive podcast, but like
I was just trying to make a
love
silly
Target.
martini joke, and it just
No,
evolved. into
no. So here.
The
When you-
carts at Target
No.
are so good.
Okay,
They
so-
roll
The carts?
so smooth. They have cup holders built in. You
Yeah,
literally
it's 'cause they
walk
got
in
a
get
Starbucks.
Starbucks, which is awesome. I love getting
Which,
Starbucks
by the
right
way,
there.
those people aren't Starbucks employees.
I'm basic as fuck.
Did you know that?
They're Target employees?
They're Target employees. They're licensed by Starbucks. So the people that work at the Starbucks
Okay.
inside Target don't get Starbucks discounts because
Question.
they're not Starbucks
So
employees.
damn. So if they're walking, they spill hot coffee on themselves and they get 3rd-degree burns.
Target.
Footing the bill.
Target.
Workman's comp.
What's
That's where it's
bigger,
at.
Starbucks or Target?
Wait, what?
Target.
bigger?
No.
What
Starbucks.
pays better? Do they get paid the same as people that work at actual Starbucks, or do actual
Yeah, wait a
Starbucks?
minute.
I don't know that enough.
Do
of
the
information.
actual Starbucks employees make fun of the Target Starbucks employees because they're not real
They're rep employees.
rep employees?
replica Starbucks employees? I'm gonna go there and be like, "Sup, rep?
I only buy my coffee from real Starbucks.
I need my vanilla sweet cream cold brew, and you're a fucking rep." That's what I'm gonna say next time I go.
Oh my god.
So what I was trying to say, when you go to Home Goods and you go to their they have this
The
little
vodka
kitchen
aisle?
area. They have these glass bottles that have all of the ingredients inside the bottle. All you have to do is you add vodka or scotch or tequila, and it's got everything in it. And then you let it sit in the ingredients. And then after a few hours, you pour it, and it takes all of the ingredients and the flavors and it puts it into the drink. So you can take an espresso martini that has the coffee grounds, the sugar, all that sort of stuff. You put the vodka in it, you let it sit in there for a little bit, and then a few hours later, you pour it, and then you have an espresso martini.
It's a
Or-
crock pot for drinks.
Or
Yes.
I can go to Pick and Save, grab a bottle of Captain Morgan, and pour that into a thing of Coke. and I
And it's
have
instant.
immediately a Captain and Coke.
But that's not a martini.
But that's not a martini.
I could
You
just-
asked me. You asked me the question.
I
You're right,
honestly-
you're right, I did.
I haven't really had too much of a desire. I've done it before, but I don't have a whole lot of desire to make a martini at home. I just go to a martini bar if I
Yeah,
want.
martini lounges are the
That's why
best.
you need the martini coffee espresso maker.
Oh my god.
I'm not going into the vodka aisle at Home Goods to make this.
Marinated
It's more
versions.
just I'm gonna try it sometime. You guys, I'll get it for you. We'll have it on the next podcast.
I
Anyway,
feel like no one can relate.
I couldn't even tell you where the nearest Home Goods is.
I can't
couldn't
believe
either.
you guys all need to go to at least a Home Goods once.
I kind of want to just so I know what the fuck is going on because I have no idea. The way you
Sounds
describe it
wild.
makes it.
Home Goods is an area that you can buy things for your home, and they're
So
goods.
there's no groceries?
No. I didn't say there were groceries.
Where'd the vodka come from?
I said there was kitchen. You have to have your own vodka. It's in
You
the
bring it
kitchen
with you
area.
You
to the
can't get
store?
vodka at Home Goods?
No, it's not a grocery store.
It made it sound like you go to Home Goods, you,
know where-
pour the vodka
I can
in,
get
No,
I
you-
can get alcohol at Target.
You go to Home Goods
and you pour the vodka
and you
in.
buy the thing,
The
and
vodka.
then you take that home, and then you put vodka in it.
Oh, so you don't go and get the
Home
vodka.
Goods is not a grocery store. No.
I asked that earlier, and you said
Gels.
yes.
Yeah.
No, I said no, Dakota.
Play it back.
I'll play that shit back all day.
So what
Anyway,
is it?
MartiniWorks
Like Home Depot?
is a place where you can add your build thread.
I've been there.
Yeah, and it's fucking sick, okay?
I love Home Depot.
And Home Depot, way better than Lowe's and way better than Menards. Hands down.
I don't know if it's way better, but
It is.
I do like Home Depot.
I've never had a bad experience at Home Depot.
I was gonna say, Menards might have a better jingle.
Okay, wait, hold up. Let's bring
Menards
this. Hey,
stinks.
real quick. Let's make it a little bit automotive related. If you,
I have
what do you mean?
built, built a car in Menards.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! If you are working on your car in your garage,
Oh god.
go to get this tool. It's like you're almost done. You just gotta get this fucking part in. You're done. You don't have the tool. Where is the first place you're immediately going to get said tool?
Can I go first?
They're gonna hate me.
Okay, go.
Ace.
Okay.
O'Reilly's.
Oh!
Well, Joe's worked there, bro.
I know he worked there.
I've gotten O'Reilly's has done me right more times than AutoZone has. So,
I used to buy all my shit at O'Reilly's.
I've also gone to Ace. That's a good one. Honestly, probably the one I've went to most now that I think about it, which is really weird. It's Fleet Farm.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I
either
had to
between
think
those.
about it, but
I have been trying to go to Fleet Farm more
yeah.
because I don't know.
Is Fleet Farm nationwide or is that just like
Regional.
Midwest?
It's regional.
Regional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Fleet Farm got everything from your horse needs to your fence to groceries to
No.
car parts.
See, here's the
They do
problem.
have
Here's
some
the problem
groceries.
with Farm and Fleet. I'm gonna be really honest.
No.
No, let
Not
me
Farm
explain.
Farm and Fleet or
not
Fleet
Farm
Farm?
Fleet and Farm. Fleet Farm.
Hey,
Fleet
get it
Farm.
right, bud.
Yeah,
You talking
because
about Blaine or you talking about Mills?
Yeah, I know. Okay,
Well,
listen.
be careful. Okay.
Listen, here's my problem. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Okay, I'm ready. Ace.
I feel like I'm just not. I just don't feel like I'm at.
Oh, they
that-
beat the fuck out of
the
you if you went to
education
Fleet
level.
Farm.
What does that mean?
They beat
They'd
the
beat-
shit out of you too.
No.
You don't even know. Just because you're big doesn't mean you fucking know
I
shit.
walk in there like, sup, Dakota? I'm like,
Yeah,
what up?
yeah, because you got a fucking beard and you're a little bit bigger, okay? And
if
I look
you
like
went
I'm
to
in front
Fleet
of a.
Farm, they'd beat the shit out
No,
of you. They don't
they-
like you at
See,
Fleet
I don't
Farm.
go to Fleet Farm because I pulled up with the BMW and
Oh, they don't like
yeah,
that.
They don't like
Yeah,
that.
They
if you're
don't
not,
like
if you're
that.
not pulling up with a truck that's 22 years old and's
Yeah.
got a bow tie or a
Yeah.
Ford on it,
Uh-huh.
you're
Then you
fucked.
go to O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
I park down the street and walk over if I'm taking one of my cars.
No, what I'm trying to say
I don't either. I'm
about
just kidding.
Farm and Fleet and Fleet Farm,
Careful.
yeah,
Just Farm and Fleet doesn't even need to be brought up. I don't
Okay,
like
so
that
Fleet
place.
Farm.
Okay,
Anyway.
thank you.
is that it requires a level of education to get around and have conversations with those staff. Like you have to be in the industry to be in that building, I feel like.
I'd say you just need to know the
I get where he's
layout.
coming from a little bit. They're always like, "Is this for farming use?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you?"
Yes.
talking about? What are you? Nah,
Are you a farmer? Yes or no?
yes,
Because
no.
if yes, you get a tax exemption.
No,
Do they
when
make it prove it?
when they
Yes.
when they ask
Farm?
me,
Yeah.
yeah, when they ask me
They
that,
should,
it's not
anyway.
because of the fucking farming exemption. They're like, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying to find probably like the right fertilizer for me for springtime. I got about quarter an acre, water it about 3 times a
Sounds
week.
like
This
you
is
know a
language."
pretty good
And
amount.
he's like,
Looks
what are
you up
you
and down.
what are you using to spread it? And I'm like, just a push spreader. And he's like, so don't even fucking get me started on the
right.
judgment I
So,
received.
I don't
on
talk to the
fucking
workers. I just go get my
fertilizer.
shit and get out.
So Alex has been personally attacked by.
Yeah, so
See,
now
I picked up on that. I knew it. I was
I
like,
So
just
now
don't talk to anybody when I go in there.
No, yeah, I don't talk.
so
to
now
anyone.
I just have my farmer friends just get me the fertilizer I need.
That's fair. No, I would say O'Reilly's. 1, I work there, and 2, it's like the closest to my house.
What's your scoff with O'Reilly's? I didn't think it was that bad. I've gone there. Like I
feel
said,
like they're
it's-
always like the brunt
Yeah,
of the joke
yeah.
of like the
No,
whole
okay,
like
so
front wheel drive or
I'll be-
all wheel drive.
Yeah,
or
you're right.
windshield
Yeah.
wipers.
I'll
you
be
know?
super honest with you. Mine is so locally biased,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's definitely
All right.
not like
That's fair.
the whole thing. When I was in Eau Claire,
the one
when I
by
was
your
working
house
at the
changed.
when I was working on the Datsun, every Monday I chose to not work at RCU, and I used my Mondays to catch up on homework, and I'd spend the second half of the day trying to work on the car, and I'd film videos. That was like my whole Monday. And so Mondays I would go and I would try to get my parts, and every single time I would go to O'Reilly's and try to get something, it was always like I always felt badgered like what I was asking for or what I was doing was considered wrong. And like there was always like these older employees that were constantly like belittling the fact of like what I needed. So if I needed the gaskets for my 350 and they were like, well, what car is it? I'd say, well, it's in a Datsun, but it belongs to this truck. And I'd explain to them the year, make, model of the truck. And then they would look at me and they'd be like, well, do you even know what you're doing? And I'm like, not really. No, but I need the gaskets. Can I get the gas? And every single time I'd go to advance, it'd be a 24-year-old dude. And I'd be like, hey, I've got this Datsun I'm working on. I'm looking to get some of these relays and some wiring and some electrical tape. And they'd be like, fuck yeah, man. Of course I can help you with that. And every single time I went to O'Reilly's, they were like, fuck you. Every single time I went to advance, they're like, that's awesome, dude. And that's why I hate O'Reilly's. And that's why I haven't bought from them in like 10 years.
I've almost had an opposite
Eau Claire,
experience between the
O'Reilly's,
two.
you did this to me.
But also imagine 18, 19-year-old Alex Martinez walking in saying,
strutting his stuff.
yeah, hair slicked back.
Yeah, glasses.
Yeah. I
Piss-filled headlights.
I have a Datsun.
yeah.
And I need
got
gaskets
Datsun.
for it. But it's got a Chevy motor. But it's been bored. But it's supercharged. But it's wide body. But it's...
I did a whole Sharpie job on it.
I plastic dipped it.
Plastic dip.
and it's like...
I made a video on it. You probably seen it. That's probably how it went.
I don't think that's how it went. I do
I
remember
want both sides of this story.
Yeah.
the hardest
Greg.
conversation I ever had was I was trying to find headlights for the Datsun. And the
Aren't they just
actual
fucking circles?
fucking okay, O'Reilly, calm down.
I know.
Yeah, he's
I
doing
know
it.
the goddamn part
He's
number for
doing
that.
it.
fucking
they're
thing.
they're the H7 like headlights, you know? And I knew this because on eBay, they're all labeled the same. They're all labeled for Jeeps,
Yes,
right?
they are Jeep headlights.
They're Jeep headlights.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And I went to O'Reilly. Well, first I went to Advance. They didn't have them. They said they could get them in like 2 days. I called O'Reilly's.
That's
They're like,
bullshit.
yes.
Their hub is in Minneapolis. It should
Yeah.
have been like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, I can get that. So I go to O'Reilly's, and having to explain that, they're like, well, what's the year, make, and model? And I'm like,
You should have just said Jeep.
it's a Jeep. I did.
Oh.
They're like, well, what's the year, make, and model? I'm like,
Oh,
I go
fuck.
on eBay and I start looking to figure out what the URL name is on eBay to just say that, and the guy looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. Like he doesn't even know what vehicle he
Yeah,
owns, and I'm
yeah.
like, no. I have a Datsun that has the headlights that fit the Jeep, and they're like, sure, sure they
Sure
do.
you do, buddy.
Sure you do.
So here's the thing. I'm going to give you the lowdown on this. The systems are at O'Reilly's, and I would imagine most parts stores, like to do shit, to like get shit ordered, to make sure that the warranties, they require so much fucking information. And listen, I know that you just need an H7 bulb, but the fucking computer won't let me do it unless I put in the goddamn year, make, and
Is it
model.
automatic
and if
or
the
manual?
Year, make, and model doesn't add up to the part number that it says it should be, it is a whole fucking situation.
And that is exactly why I started MartiniWorks, so that you don't have to go through that.
There you go.
If you want an H7 headlight for a Jeep, but you have a Datsun, I'm not going to judge you because fuck it. I couldn't figure it out either when I was 18 years old. That's all I got for it.
And if you order the wrong part, it's on you.
It's on your ass. You know what? That's called accountability. We're bringing that back in 2023. It's time for Out of Context.
No, it's not.
It
Keep
is.
it going.
It
It
is.
is time for Out of Context. If there was one thing that you'd be okay with getting canceled for in the automotive community, what would it be?
Jesus Christ.
Whoa. That I would be okay for getting canceled for.
What the fuck?
I'd say probably just being a good guy.
I knew it. I knew he was going to say something stupid.
Joe?
How the fuck are you supposed to answer that question?
What are you okay with? Okay, it's basically to freshen it, make it a little easier to understand. What are you okay with having a strong opinion on that maybe other people don't agree with? Like only owning naturally aspirated cars.
Sure.
Come on, you gotta think of something here, bud.
I don't know if I had like a super strong stance on anything.
I don't know if you do either.
Actually,
to be
yeah, Giles is pretty well rounded.
Thank you.
So I was
honest. Literally?
Especially in this
That's
area.
really fucked up.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, don't cancel me all you want. Don't piss in your headlights.
That's not a generally accept. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
No,
Well, apparently.
some people
you almost
get really
got
mad
kicked off
about
the
it.
podcast.
Yeah, I almost got canceled off the podcast. I would have been okay with it.
No, you wouldn't have.
Well, I did come back.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
All right. Gels.
Aye.
Turbo car or NA car?
Don't fuck this up.
I have no experience with turbo cars, so I'm going to go with NA car. No, I'm just kidding. I need to get into a boosted
No
platform,
context.
all right?
No Yeah, you do. You really do. All right, so you're sitting at a stoplight.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I got to think of something new. All right. Would you rather eat Chinese takeout in your car while you're driving?
Ooh.
Yeah, it can be tricky. Or Italian takeout while driving.
What was the first option?
Chinese.
Chinese. I choose Chinese. I was gonna, yeah.
I think I have to go Italian.
Really? I go Chinese.
Typically, personally, I would love to go with Chinese food because I like Chinese food more.
Yeah.
But there's typically a lot more vegetables and stuff to fall all over the place with the Chinese food.
I was just thinking
Compared to
pasta
just,
is
like-
hard to eat while driving.
Would you
Easier Chinese food on it.
would you rather be in a car that's a little bit too small for you but it's fast as fuck? Or a car that's just right but slow as balls? Honda Beat
That's good. That's a good one.
versus the Century.
I feel
I'm going to
that
go
in
slow car.
I'm gonna go tiny car, big power, because I feel like
No context.
small car. Oh yeah. Forgot.
I'm going to go slow car. That's that.
Tiny car, fast car.
tiny car, fast car. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's a good one.
No.
Cartoon
It's
car.
slow car.
Cartoon
Trust me on this
car.
one. Trust me on this one.
Hey buddy.
All right.
Hey buddy.
Have to always drive barefoot. I'm talking no socks, no shoes. Or have to always drive with mittens.
When you talk and you choose the words that you do,
I'm thinking of them a millisecond before they come out of my mouth.
I know.
See, when I do that, I like stumble all over myself. So, I'll do the mittens.
I don't think it's that hard.
I feel like I would
One
do
or the other.
I would feel like I do the mittens as well.
Really? I do barefoot all day long.
More track opportunities.
Have you guys ever driven your car with your shoes off?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. The whole way down to Tennessee, I had my shoes off.
What the fuck?
You guys didn't?
Did you know
No?
that that's illegal in Wisconsin?
No, it's not.
Yes, it
It
is.
is.
No.
Yes,
it is.
I know laws.
No, you don't.
It's illegal in Wisconsin. Look it up.
No.
If I am right,
If I don't know that it's not illegal, then it can't be illegal.
that's not how that works.
That's how the law works.
What are
Trust
you
me, I've
doing?
seen Judge Judy. It looked like you wanted to say something.
Let me
That's
just
some shit
spit.
to say.
No, dude, if you guys haven't, go driving with your shoes off. I don't care if it's illegal, so is
When
my
I-
exhaust.
I
I
used
mean,
to do that with the Miatas. all
I've
the
done
time.
that as much as like
I
moving
like
my
it.
car in like my driveway, and I've hated it.
Would you rather
Really?
have 10 versions of an S2000 or 10 versions of a Honda Civic Type R?
I know it's out of context. I need more context to whatever the fuck that question
You
was.
could either have 10 Honda S2000s or 10 Civic Type Rs.
S2000s.
I get 10 of the car.
You get 10 of them.
You know how much S2000s are going for?
S2K. Dude, Dale posted his S2K. I want to buy it so bad. I want it
who?
so bad. Dale, the one that you bought clap car from, but he actually posts clean car.
Oh,
That
he
is
bought that.
beautiful.
He bought that like 2 months ago.
I know.
that's what Dale
So it
does.
sketches me out a little bit, but like
How much is he selling it for?
Like,
How much?
30 plus.
Oh, God.
But, dude, it's white. You never see white. It looks gorgeous.
Yes, you do. You see championship white on Honda S2000s all the time.
No, you don't.
Yes,
but
you
not
do.
with the
You
tan
literally have
interior.
the color
Oh my
S2000 that
God.
90,000
Yeah.
billion of them are. That silver color, the old man silver.
Gray.
Gray. No, it's silver. It's
Silver.
not gray. It's not gray.
Well, it's
silver.
gray when
They
it
actually
loses
made
the
like
gloss.
a gray. They actually made a gray, and it was a little bit better. But yeah. Anyways, barefoot driving underrated,
$30,000 S2000.
or sock driving. I'm okay with that too.
Sock mode.
Your turn, Jels.
Always running out of oil or coolant.
Hmm.
Coolant.
Coolant.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd rather.
See, I'd go oil.
Why?
I hate fucking with coolant.
Well, just don't spill it on you.
I just feel like this is adding context, but if you run out of oil versus run out of coolant, it's easier to make do without coolant than
Yeah,
it
you
is
just
oil.
piss in the coolant.
You just piss in the coolant.
In the headlights.
And
No, no.
a little bit gets in the headlights. I mean,
That's when you make a mistake.
That's what Porsche does.
Yeah.
The
It
race
overheated
cars.
all the time.
Well, you want to do the outro?
Yeah, we are all done with today's episode. It's been chaotic, and I can't believe I have to take these guys to Home Goods. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't had a chance yet, be sure to subscribe. Check out MartiniWorks and MartiniWorks Unboxed. If you want to add your car to our build threads, be sure to do so. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Beep, beep, beep. Food's done.